Hello and thanks for tuning in. I'm Rocked by Rick. This is my channel where I cover Beast Wars updates and news, anything circling the media, whether it be cartoons, toys, anything updating, even IDW comic books. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, I will be covering this episode, some of the new additions with the Beast Wars in IDW and in the Power of the Primes show that is on Go 90. So spoilers. Anyway, the first thing that I do want to cover is this is probably a couple years old at the time of this recording already. And I normally, when I'm reading IDW, I buy the thicker IDW collection that has several graphic novels and they're laid out in a specific order. But I saw this at my local comic book shop, and I really loved the way that the artwork represented kind of a more cartoony fashion. Even though I'm normally not into kind of a whimsical Transformers comic book, this one was actually quite delightful to read. It is the Distant Star Windblade Transformers, part of the Windblade series. I'm not sure what number this category falls into, but the reason why I bought this one specifically is because as I was thumbing through it, I noticed Beast Wars characters, and it just blew my mind because this was the first time I'd seen any kind of new Beast Wars media since 1999 or 98, whenever the last time we saw that. Beast Wars transitioned into Beast Machines and things like that, but we didn't get to see any more characters like the original Dinobot, which was, he is my absolute favorite, probably Transformer of all time. He was, for some people who don't know, the person who pretty much sacrificed himself for all of humanity. So that was one of my favorite things, to see him in a new comic book. And even though they didn't get a lot of page time here, they did get a quite nice representation of the way the characters looked. And this doesn't follow anything to do with the original cartoon. These are all new representations of characters on a new planet called Eucharis. But anyway, so now that that's covered, I'll go ahead and move on to the Power of the Primes cartoon. We haven't seen an episode yet with the Beast Wars characters, but they are on a jungle planet. The first episode I saw was called The Swamp, and it had the Dinobots in there, and they combined to fight Windblade and Perceptor and a few of the other characters that are in the cartoon. And at the end of the episode, you saw a trailer with Optimus Primal. He walks up and they say, who are you? He says, Optimus Primal. And there's been a couple funny memes. I think it was maybe Payu put in one saying, I am Batman. It was really kind of funny. So for those who don't know, that is what I would consider to be Beast Wars news. Probably for the hardcore fans, they're already aware of these things. But so then the next thing I'll go ahead and cover is my toy collection. So we'll start this episode with Dinobot. He is my absolute favorite, so he'll be the first customized toy to cover. I do want to do more up-to-date Beast Wars news, but as of this video recording, there's only a couple new Generations figures out, and I don't have the new Generations Dinobot, and I'm still waiting for the MP release. We did have the gray molds showed to us, and they've been painted. I'm not sure if that's going to be the final release, but we have confirmation that it should be coming out within the next month, I believe. So I'll go ahead and review this figure first. This is my, I'm going to call them B1 because this is the first generation. So just like G1, this is B1 Dinobot. And we'll go ahead and take him outside. Pardon the jarriness, we'll take everyone for the ride so I can cover this figure where it's a little better lit. Alright. Let's see. How does that look here? Oh, whoops. So this is Beast Wars Dinobot B1 in all his glory. This is not the original one that I had as a child. I did misplace that one eventually somewhere, so I did lose that, but I do have a replacement that I purchased on eBay. I have a current Beast Wars comic that I've been kind of throwing into the pipeline. This is my main character. He's been kind of the main hero, so I have him in all his glory. There's not much that I've added to this particular custom character in his beast form, so I just colored the tips of the talons with the silver, and I think that's probably about it. I left the tip of the tail tan, not to alert anyone that the beast mode's off, but I did color the rest of the sword silver, so that is a little bit more show accurate. I'll try to cover this the best I can. So this was the first figure that I ever had as a kid. A friend of mine gave this to me in the 4th grade. And this is pretty much what made me fall in love with the series, because I saw the cartoon and I was very fond of it, and I didn't actually have any of the Beast Wars figures. All of my other friends did. And when he gave this one to me, this was the first thing that I was pretty much able to kind of look at in my hands and look at the TV screen and I was like doing double takes. Wow, I can't believe that I have a show character in my hands, not even one of the second-rate non-screen accurate characters. So anyway, we'll go ahead and display Dinobot in his robot mode, and give him his little barely working spring-loaded action helicopter of doom. So that will go ahead and wrap up this episode. I'll cover in the next episode some more of his upgraded transformations. The Dinobot 2, his clone, which will be the Transmetal 2 revival of him, who also pretty much saves the Beast Wars continuity at the end of the show. So spoiler if you haven't watched the end of Beast Wars. I hope you have, because most fans of this channel should be up to date with at least the 90s Beast Wars. Anyway, thanks again, and have a wonderful day.